Hi, everyone. If you like that content, please remember to like and subscribe to Educating Idiots podcast. The more subscribers we get, the more amazing content. Putting pressure on him.
Yeah. No.
Anyway, welcome to the podcast, Joe.
Yeah, welcome, Joe.
Welcome to Educating Idiots. I'm sure you've worked out by now that we're three self-proclaimed idiots.
Yeah. What does self-proclaimed mean?
It means that we've declared we're idiots without anyone telling us that we are.
Ah, so me not knowing that word makes me.
So it works with your ego really well because it's not because people have said you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You just decided.
So you're taking the moral high ground and being an idiot.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Well done,
yeah. So we're all winners, basically.
Yeah, fantastic.
I like that. Yeah. Fantastic way to start.
I
feel like a winner right now.
We're all winners.
Yeah. We like to get people here to come and have a chat.
Yep.
Teach us some stuff or tell us some good stories.
Yeah.
And seeing where it goes. Joel, so tell us about you.
Yeah.
Who are you? What do you do?
Yeah.
And what are you going to come and talk about?
I've come on to talk, actually. So I've known Luke for years and years. I'm going to tell you some stories about him later.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
And I'm an actor by trade. That's how I earn a living these days, which is, for all intents and purposes, great. I'm proud of myself, but it's a torrid road. You know, but yeah, that's essentially, I think, why Luke thought it might be a good idea for me to come down and have a chat with you guys, just for it being a diverse thing, perhaps that I might have some interesting things to say. I don't know how much pressure I'm putting myself on that.
You are, yeah.
And so, we'll see, I guess.
I'll tell you, well, a good question to start with, which I think what people will be wondering is, how do you get into acting?
Right. So in Nottingham, we actually have a real depth of opportunity for young people, particularly. So there's the Nottingham Television Workshop was what it's called now. It used to be called the Central Television Workshop when I was in it. And you've got the likes of Vicky McClure and Toby Kebbell, Jack O'Connell. I could go on all night. There's a lot of really successful actors that have come out of that breeding ground. And when I was a kid, my mum sort of pushed me into it because apparently I was shy. I don't buy that.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
struggling with that.
Talking out of her arse, if I'm honest with you. But, I don't know. I must have been. So she pushed me into it, and it turned out from being like I don't really have, apparently that, you know,
a timid, shy person.
Thank you. Yeah, like I don't really like this, or maybe I don't know. Perhaps I wasn't getting on with or people of my own age so much, or whatever.
You might have been annoying, and she just wanted you out of the house.
I was probably a twat. Yeah. Now you say that, shit. It's a broadening realization.
Sorry,
but yeah. So I went down there, and that you know got into that, and the more I did, and the more I felt like I was interacting with people my own age who seemed to be outwardly going, then in sort of it became quite addictive, I think.
Did school play a part at all? Drama?
No, not really. Do you know what? Strangely enough, and I think luckily, I think the environment of that has changed quite a lot these days. But when I was at school, I remember like good mates of mine, like a really close friend of mine is a European champion karate man.
Oh, right.
Whatever the thing
is
that
that
comes after
karate man.
Karate man.
I think karate man is not the word, but we could go with it.
Like a kickboxer.
The karate man.
You know, what would you call it? Anyway,
it was a karate champion. He's a karate champion.
Yeah, the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
So he was a karate man.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
He grew up.
I'm thinking of a film starring you right now.
There you go. Follow the narrative.
Yeah,
the karate man.
You know what I mean? I'm
Karate
hitting
man.
Miyagi boards and all that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so so when we were at school, because he was a European champion, he chose. You know when you get to choose the subjects that you do at GCSE and that, he chose PE. You know what PE is? What am I fucking doing?
Yeah, what does that stand for?
Physical
education.
That's right. Yeah, PE. And so he got an automatic A star. Like basically, as soon as he ticked it, the teachers were like, fucking A star. And I was like, Sand, well, I'll go for drama then, because I've been on telly and I've done a film, a Shane Meadows film at this point. I was like, Sand. That's an A star. As soon as I walked in, they were like, just so you know, this isn't going to be the Joel Morris show. I was like,
oh wow.
That's a bit of a disparity in fucking opinions.
I feel like with drama, though, in those days, they didn't really give you much of a chance. I mean, you had to be, I remember my drama class, you basically was a seed that pretended to be a tree.
Yeah.
There's not many shows that need
Yeah, but they
that.
knew about your early career for them to say that then.
It's probably
Is that where
jealous,
it came
I was
from?
on like adverts and like there was stuff that I was in on telly.
So that sounds a bit envious for him to say that, doesn't
it? It was directly the head of drama.
Wow.
Can I ask Joel,
What's his name?
how old was you when you got your first role in something?
I was I must have been about 12, 13. I was in peak. No, more younger than that. I was about 9. I was in peak practice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Peak
And what
practice.
sort of environment is that like for a child to be in?
Well, at that point, it's very rare that when you're that age that you get in proper parts. I mean, there's a girl who's just come out of the workshop now. She's essentially still a part of it, but like in a capacity where she's like I don't know what the word is, but whatever that is, but where someone comes into something and is beholden to it, like Vicky McClure is,
Like they're an ambassador for it.
Like a
Is
scholar.
exactly the word.
He's good at that. You have to wait. It's no good looking at me.
My head was
He's
like,
the
you're
one
on
that-
your
he's the one
own,
with the
mate.
few
Yeah.
words.
I don't know what my brain was doing then.
Oh
It was
yeah,
like, fucking mate,
me and Ben
I
Artist was watching, going, yeah,
I was
go on, then.
thinking
Until
for
he
you.
comes in.
Luke was watching you crash and burn. Basically.
I was
And I thought,
like-
all right.
Sorry,
I was
bro.
looking at that drum set thinking, what the fuck?
I just saw. He's
Anyway,
gonna get it.
So yeah,
So
so,
she's
so
an
she-
ambassador.
she's in an ambassadorial capacity now, and so, but her first role was Game of Thrones, and she was like 8 years old. I
Wow.
think Bella Ramsey, you might have heard of it.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
Game of
Yeah.
Thrones.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
she's just been the
In
zombie
yeah,
program.
yeah. So that's her.
What's it called?
The Last of Us.
Oh, what a great
she's
program.
killing it, by the like she's
And how old's she?
she's got to be like 14. No, maybe like 18 at this point.
So much
Yeah,
younger though, Game of
19.
Thrones. She must have been 13,
Younger
14.
than that, I think. Like
Who was she in Game of Thrones?
She was the she was like the lordess of one of the
of another tribe,
of another
essentially.
house.
Yeah.
yeah, up in the north. She was on like the
Okay.
Stark side.
So there was this big scene where John Stark, what was his name?
Jon
right?
Snow.
John Snow.
Jon
thank you,
Snow.
had got everyone together and they were talking about, we need to all come together and forget our differences and blah, blah, blah. And at the time, I'd been out of the workshop for a long time. And this girl, Bella Ramsey, she stood up. And I mean, there must have been, if you think about the way that a film set works, every actor that you see has to have at least one person to their one person behind the camera as well. You've got a runner or
Someone who looks after
someone who
it.
doing the cameras or the lights or the whatever it is.
And I know the scene you're talking about is huge.
There must have been about 200 people just
Yeah.
be in front of the cameras. So
Yeah.
fuck knows how many people were there that day. And she stood up and bossed it, and it was like a big fucking monologue. And she was like shouting at folk and fucking giving it that. And I was
That's
like,
right, yeah.
wow, I don't know that I'd have had quite the gumption.
Yeah,
to do
that age.
at her
Yeah,
age.
that
It's
age.
So
like-
confidence is a massive player then.
That's
in-
gotta be,
in,
yeah.
in the acting game.
And if you ain't got it, you fake it. But for the most part, I'm faking it. But especially,
Really?
yeah, 100%. Because there's so many times where I'll be working
Yeah.
and I'll turn up, like especially so on the first day of a job, there are two different types of jobs where you turn up. So you've got a job where you've got a decent part. You're like one of the main 10, they call it, on the call sheet. And you're there from day one. You do the read through with everybody. You get to know everybody. So the first day on set isn't as daunting. But then there's jobs that just pay the bills, and you're coming in for a couple of scenes, nice scenes, whatever. But you're just a day player, essentially, coming in for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And when you come in on that day, you don't know anybody. So you're not part of the family. There's not this nice camaraderie kind of, that there is today, for instance, with you guys.
Yeah,
I
that
would be
is.
coming in cold. And it's like,
It's quite intimidating.
it
that.
fucking is, because
Yeah.
the first thing they do, the director will come up to you in front of everyone and be like, we're doing a crew show. So the whole crew comes into the room and there might be 50 people. And you just got to do your lines there. And it's not even, you just
Wow.
go.
As a practice in front of them.
In front of everybody, yeah, because they've got to see like how it's blocked and how you're
Yeah.
going to say things.
That's chucking you into the
so we've
deep
got
end,
to-
isn't
I
it?
might have to put some more makeup on it. Like those
And
kind
you're
of
still
things.
doing the.
Like
Everyone
a
takes it
rehearsal
as-
sort of thing.
Essentially, yeah, but so they do a rehearsal first and then you do a crew show. But the crew show on day one, if you don't know anybody, it's fucking Bobby Cat.
Yeah, I
it really
bet. Yeah, I
is.
can
Like it's
imagine.
like, yeah, you know what I mean? You just have to just, like I say,
So
pretend that you're confident.
if you're
At least I do anyway. I don't know.
going in, how old did you say it was? 9. Your first part, or 12.
Yeah, but that was like a walk on.
A walk, right?
Yeah,
a
it
walk
wasn't
on.
a big part.
So
Literally
how
just
old
walk.
was you when you started getting actual parts where you'd have to go in and do that?
Essentially, so I sort of basically quit acting for a while between being about 18 and 25. Moved out to Portugal and did all
The really
sorts
fun part.
yeah, do you know what I mean? Moved out to Portugal, did loads of gear and fucking just loads of fucking mad shit, and then came back and bumped into really like, serendipitously bumped into the bloke who used to run the workshop, and he was like, "Fucking hell, Joel, I ain't seen you in years. You're one of the ones that got away. I've got this audition tomorrow. Are you about?" And I was like, "Well, just come up to see my mum and dad." Yeah, I guess so. Ended up going down to it, and they love me.
What was it for?
It was actually like, it wasn't an audition for anything particular. There was a production company, or there is a production company down south called Hattrick, and they do like Whose Line Is It Anyway? And-
Hat Trick Productions.
Hat Trick Productions.
Yeah,
You've
I've seen it before,
Yeah, they're on a lot of stuff.
Quite big, yeah.
And yeah, they are. And so the head of comedy had come down to the workshop to just basically run a day just to see who
Talent
was what.
spot,
Yeah,
like
basically.
scouting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly that.
Like what they're doing football on the Sunday
Exactly
League,
that. Yeah. Now I think about it, that's exactly what it was. And
Yeah.
so that he was like, just come down and just be yourself and see how it was. But because I'd had so much time out and actually learned more about myself and had these way away from Nottingham, way away from my old mates, way away from whatever fucking
You went and found
held me
yourself.
back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I always find that's a wanky concept when someone says I'm going
Thanks.
travelling to fight. Sorry to totally just piss on your chips there.
Sometimes Luke is a bit wanky. I know what you mean.
It's not your concept though. You can't
it's
claim
not
ownership
my
to that.
fault, but I do say wanky things.
Yeah, no, but don't we all? But but that was essentially what it was. And so I'd come down and found that this confidence that I'd been pretending to have was now actually there.
Yeah.
And and I was that bit older than everybody, so I had this
So you're too young.
peership.
So when you was young, you didn't really know, you couldn't feel the confidence because you just did, and then you went away and kind of came back more confident.
Well, it was
more
more like
well-rounded.
like you would with anything with your peers. You don't want to show them that you're not confident, so you just pretend. And it's like, who's the best pretender is what it is when you're acting as a kid. Basically, it's
I think
just
that's life as well.
Yeah, I think it bodes well in life in general. Yeah, I think so.
I think if you act like you know, you generally know.
Another
Yeah.
saying.
It's a new one.
Say that again.
Cut that mic in case let's frame that bad boy.
I've got to look at the camera when I say them. But yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't know whether that's as relevant these days because everyone's got a fucking Google straight away, haven't they? And,
Yeah.
and I feel like every time I'm at a party or in any kind of social situation, if I say something, 9 out of 10, I'm
getting
totally
challenged.
fucking making it up.
Yeah.
And someone will go, man.
Yeah, but
actually,
that's
mate,
why
no."
since
That-
Google, that's why I needed to do this show because I just pretended I knew, and then I hit it with confidence. People would go, yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was on
Actually,
about.
mate, no, I was looking up this today. and
Exactly,
fucking
that's why I need
natural,
educating right
yeah.
now,
Yeah, okay.
quickly.
Oh, good.
So, tell us about some of the best roles you've had,
Excuse me. Funnily enough,
or
actually,
your favourite ones. What have you?
Well, I literally just now come off a job. I've been filming it out in Belgium for 3 or 4 months in Antwerp, and it's a job that's coming out in October on Channel 4 over here and Stars in America, and it's called The Couple Next Door. It's based on a novel. I should know the writer's name, but in
You should.
You
Google it. Google it.
that one.
It was written by a guy or a girl. Equality, baby. Come at me now. So, at some point. So, anyway, it's about these two couples. A new couple moves into this new area. I don't know how much I can give away, but there's a couple that already live there. They become friends, couple to couple, and things get a bit saucy.
Are you part of a couple?
No, I'm not.
Right.
So
okay.
things get a bit saucy between them two couples, and I'll leave that there.
Oh, okay.
Spoiler.
But one of the males of the two couples
Yeah.
is a copper, and I'm his police partner,
Right.
and I'm not, let's say, the best policeman who's ever lived in the history of the world. So
Sounds like you could play that good character.
actually, really, like I was actually telling Luke about this. It's the most me character I've ever played. Every line I read, I was like, I'd fucking say exactly that. I would say that. Yeah. That's bang on. Yeah.
Does that make that easier to relate to the character?
It depends. Yeah, it does. Yeah. But sometimes you don't want to relate to the character. Like, I'm ready now for a job of someone that, if anything, I don't like. Like, I liked my character in this one. He was a knob, but like one of your mates. Do you know what I mean? Like, not a mate, essentially.
Yeah.
But
But then that makes it easy. You're not necessarily growing then, are you? You're not learning anything.
I felt like I wasn't working.
Yeah.
If you know what I was, but
No, I know what you mean.
but-
Not challenging yourself.
yeah, it wasn't like acting. It was just turning up and remembering lines and just being as natural as possible. I'd like to think. We'll see when it comes out. I might look like a fucking spade, but who knows?
I'm giving it a watch now.
Yeah,
definitely.
hopefully it'll be good. Trust me, because knowing what we filmed, it'll at least be
Yeah,
entertaining.
you must have a
Whether
feeling
or not I'm good in it.
when you're on a set, you have that feeling of. Do you know what I mean? If we do a podcast, you have that feeling of, oh, that went well. You must have that on a set going.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
That I felt good there. Like,
Yeah, usually that is if the director's got nothing to say to you,
yes, yeah.
which is rare for me.
So no news is good news.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. If usually you're just like, is that? And they'll be like, yeah, like as if to say, I'm fucking
Smashing
not
it.
worried about you.
Yeah.
Do you ever have times where the director's saying, "Do that again," do that again, like over and over
Oh,
again?
I've had a director fucking go mad at me. Yeah. So I did a Christmas special of Call the Midwife a few years ago, and there was this. I mean, it was totally my fault. We'd been filming all day, and they were getting this little shot of this girl who played my partner in it, and she was holding our baby, and we'd rehearsed with the doll, and then they brought a real baby in.
Oh,
First of all, who's letting their real baby go on a set? So someone's like, there's an agency where you can sign up your actual, like, 3-day-old, by the way,
That's
baby.
that's
Who the
crazy,
fuck's
isn't
doing
it?
that? I remember at the time being like, I don't feel all right about this.
Yeah.
Is it a money thing? Do they get paid good money for it?
Oh yeah, big though. But like, what if I drop the kid? Like, it's a lot of pressure on me. I'm a fucker.
Depends on
sign waivers.
Depends how much. Depends how
I'm
much dough.
supposed to be acting.
Depends how
Depends how much dough.
Wow, what do you mean?
If you dropped it, you got.
Lob it like a rugby ball if you're paying me enough. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Wow.
You get to sign it before. Do you mind it being dropped once?
This
But
is
yeah.
this is going down a morally incorrect path. Isn't
Yeah.
Hey, don't blame me.
Let me just
Don't
say,
blame me.
I was
Blame the guys that go out and find those women in the maternity ward.
In labour.
And go- with a card and a shiny suit on. I go, your kid looks like it needs to be on screen. Sorry, your kid. And then shoots it. 3 days. Where was it?
It was. What do you mean?
Where
we
was
film
it?
it?
Yeah.
Belgium.
No,
Oh, no,
no,
that's
this
called
was
the
a
Did they
midwife.
have-
It was
did they
down
have-
in London. Down
Did
in
they have the
London way.
babies on set, or did they go to the hospitals?
For like a day.
To
No,
the
did they-
hospital to get- Oh, everyone stop there. We're just going to move to the hospital ward to grab a
If you
baby.
need a
from the-
really new one,
Actually,
3 days old, so it's got to be 3 days away.
But this is what I'm saying. The logistics of that. How the fuck
That's
did they
what I'm
work?
thinking.
They
Think
must have
about
signed-
it. Where are they getting that baby from?
They've signed up
3
their
day old.
unborn fetus
Yeah.
to go on tele.
Yeah.
That's
no, I
weird,
agree.
man.
It's a bit like it's a
It's
lot of
all-
trust.
It's all very
Baby
weird.
talent managers.
It is
Get
weird,
out of
I
this.
mean, there's,
Yeah,
I
it
can-
is.
there's so much weirdness going on. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of
Yeah, I can
weirdness.
imagine.
There is.
Where did that story start? Because I feel like we got digressed from the
the
baby got
director.
introduced.
Sorry, yeah. So
The director,
So
that's
the
it.
kid was supposed to be crying, and it wouldn't cry at the right time. It kept like making daft, like gurgly kid noises.
That's a
And
lot
then-
of expectation from a 3-day-old baby. Cry on cue.
Well-
Isn't it? Like, surely you'd use sound effects.
Well,
wouldn't you?
this is what happened. So the kid's
these
mum,
babies
the kid's
audition?
mum came in and started pinching the kid, and I was like, I was like,
Get out of here.
I was like,
no.
Slapping it.
I don't know who. In fact, I've got to be really careful here.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was
know
gonna
that
say.
it was her mum, and I don't know.
Well, if it was
that makes it even worse.
But like in my head, it felt like that was what was going on. Like someone was a bit like, "You need to cry now, darling." Like it was like.
Well,
such a
otherwise,
little
that's
kid.
somebody's job, and they're a baby pincher.
Like a fluffer
as
in
a
porno.
job. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we've got
Yeah, can we get the baby pincher on? We need tears.
Dave.
How? Double
Do you know
pinch,
what I mean?
double pinch. Big
Right.
scene, big scene.
We're
Yeah,
going-
sorry.
We are.
Help us out, Joe.
Funny bag.
So basically, it would have been much easier if they used a fucking doll. Yeah, and
This
it
is
would
what
have
I
been
said.
Stick to poke it.
So I've got the director behind a piece of glass there, and he's looking at me like, fucking, let's get this done because we're getting to the end of the day. And I was like, well, why don't you just put it in after? Why don't you get a baby? And I'm saying it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I lost my patience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, of course you do that, surely.
Yeah.
And he came round and was like, don't fucking tell me. Like that, and dressed me down. And I was like, well, yeah, okay, you're a director. And
Yeah, you affected his
Don't
ego.
tell
in front of
me
the
how
crowd.
to control
fair,
my baby
which is, I
actors.
did, and I was
Yeah.
out of order.
Yeah.
You know, he's the man. and
Yeah,
on a set.
yeah.
Did he do that in private, or could everyone else hear him giving you a rollicking?
It wasn't so loud that everyone heard, but it was quite obvious he was like fucking
Giving you a
do
telling
You know what I
off,
mean?
yeah.
It was, and I felt like a twat because instinctively I was like, "It's your fucking."
When you got
This is
dressing
your
down, did
game.
the
Yeah.
baby start
I'm
to
just
cry? It felt sorry for you.
It felt his vibe and started absolutely kicking off. Then
His career's over.
It might have been a play from him. And
Yeah,
it wasn't
that's what I'm
really
saying.
effective,
You
so
never know.
it
Yeah.
was, yeah.
You might have-
Obviously, you've been in the industry for a while. Do you get to know directors or people in the game, or is it always someone
Do
different?
you know what? Funnily enough, I was talking to
Matt?
Matt Hot
what?
Dog.
Hot dog.
Ronnie Hot Dog.
Ronnie Hot
Ronnie
Dog.
Dogs out there.
That's a
Hi,
di-
Ronnie.
Save
Facebook
that
him.
story for another
Facebook
time.
him. Ronnie Hot Dog.
I was talking to him outside, and he was talking about this place and how, this place is used, and how his
Mount Street Studios.
hello, how it was, how his profession, it's sort of mostly word of mouth, and essentially it's like that in mine. But you have to get to a certain point where people know you and have at least experienced you doing half-right work, which is all I can ever lay claim to, is half-right. And then a director might tell someone else, a friend of theirs, "Oh, you're right in that. I tell you, who'd be good in that. You want to see Joel Morris." Or a director will love what you did on something and be like,
Yeah.
and remember you again. And then it's like, and then you'll just get directly like your agent will be like, "A director's called. Do you know him? Fucking Dave blah blah." And it's like I'm like,
Not the one with the baby though, was it?
yeah, not him with the baby, but like, and they'll be like, they've asked you, if, they want to offer you a part, and I'm always like, well, then you get no money, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done notes in that situation.
That's a good
Very
point.
true.
Well, he's made the phone call to you, hasn't he?
Yeah,
That's
do
it.
you know what I mean? I should have just given him my number.
Yeah.
How did
Cut
they-
out the middleman.
I might start doing that, just handing out cards on set. If you want me again, ring me.
How do the agents work? Do you have to give them a percentage or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. So it works. I mean, my agents are fantastic, and they're really, really big in the game, and they know everybody. And your agent is essentially your conduit to the industry.
Good
so
rescue,
this-
good rescue.
Yeah, thank you. So, where.
Because after that baby story, if they're watching this, they're just crossing your name.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, but they must know. I can't imagine someone at the top of that. You know that Joel Morris?
Yeah.
Don't fucking show him again. Yeah, we don't want to see him again. Yeah, maybe.
So, what program have you been in that everyone will know?
I have been in. Well, everyone will know. I've been in Coronation Street.
Oh, there you
I
go.
was in
Oh,
Coronation
classic.
Street. There you go. Yeah.
Tell us about
everyone
that.
in the UK. I actually played a character called Spike, who was a tattoo artist. And do you know what? I don't think I've ever told anybody this, but this is actually quite a good story, and I'm glad you mentioned it. But-
Educating idiots exclusive.
Hello, good afternoon. So I played a character called Spike, and there's a character, a girl in it. I have to admit that I'd never watched Coronation Street before.
I'm not
So I was
massive.
always an EastEnders man.
Oh,
Yeah, I know,
Oh.
dark. But so I come on, and there was a character called Gemma. Do you like watch
I
Coronation
don't watch
Street?
it.
Oh, okay.
I
So there's a
don't
character called Gemma. Anyway, and I played her sort of knockoff for a bit. So I was in it for about 9 episodes, about 3 months' work.
Steady.
Yeah, it was nice.
The
It was.
big Coro, yeah.
There's moments in that where you're like, you go out to set and you walk in the actual cobbles and you think, this is a fucking institution in this country.
Yeah, it
So I'm
really
filming
is.
this.
Yeah.
You think, there's
Yeah.
moments, Anyway, so because I was a tattoo artist, they sort of gave me free rein on my tattoos. And so I was like, I want to be covered. I was like, and I'm talking like everywhere. And I got them to make, and this must have been so painstaking because no one ever saw it. I was wearing jeans all the time on the show. I got them to make me like the whole length of my thigh, a Bill Oddie tattoo, yeah. And he was like talking to a bird in his hand like that.
What a
And so every day I'd have to come in at least an hour before we was
Get
like
your
fighting
bit on
dinner.
tattoo.
So they could cover me in tattoos, and the makeup woman was like, "Do you really need these?" I was like, "Yeah, it's about my character. I need to know." And it's such a shithead thing to do, but in my head I was like, "I might never get this. I might never get this opportunity. Like,
So
I'll
they
never be
have
on
to-
Coronation Street again."
So, saying something like that, then they have to take that quite seriously. If you're like, no, this is a part of my character,
Yeah.
the way I'm going to perform the part, they'll do
I'm
it.
saying, "Oh yeah, like fucking right." They'll listen.
Have you
to
got
me.
a
No, it's
picture?
not like that. But
Have you got a picture of Bill Oddie with a bird?
I'm sure I will.
Yeah.
What did they
I'll
do it
send
in?
you.
Henna or something?
No,
No,
like,
real
like-
tattoos. Got it?
Yeah, like kids have them.
The transfers.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
of
like
course,
that.
right,
But these ones were like, it was like, I mean,
Decent,
that one,
decent quality.
it
Yeah.
was sick, mate.
Yeah.
Like coloured but they were mint. And I said to her, I was like, "Can I take one?" She
Home.
wouldn't let me. Because she really actually didn't like me in the end, I think. Because
Oh,
I wonder why.
Did you get it in at 4 a.m.?
tattoos
Get
that
it
never
oh,
been
here he is.
seen.
Look, this
Yeah.
twat. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But yeah.
So tell us more about Coronation Street. What was it like being on that set? Like, what was it? What were the other characters like? And the
That
actors?
was what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Who's the diva in Coronation Street?
You can't put me on that.
offset?
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
to be
Oh,
fair.
he's
We've
got
never
an
been
answer.
out
He's got
back
an
on.
answer then.
Oh, 100%
Yeah.
I've got an answer. There's a couple of them, but and I think they're well known. I think the ones that you would assume would be because they've been in it forever. That's
Yeah.
all I'll say.
Okay, yeah.
They tend to
That's
have
fair enough.
a general, not diva. I won't
Superior.
put that on them, but yeah, they
Well,
know who they are.
They deserve it though as well. I
They
think
know who they
They've
are,
been there.
as it would be if you walk into Man United changing room
Yes.
and
Yeah, a
whoever's a
respect.
big in Man United
Yeah.
these days,
Yeah,
but
makes
like
sense.
20 years ago.
Ken Barlow, is he? So
Oh, he's a man.
There you go. He's a lovely bloke.
Wow, okay.
There you go.
Oh, you'd think he'd be the biggest diva because he's been on it for ages.
Yeah, you would. You would.
Yeah, no,
That's how you think.
he's the guy I was talking about.
I can't see that. He was trying to give us a sign.
I can't believe you said that. It's always like, I wouldn't
No,
expect you to.
I didn't see him being diva-ish, but I heard some stories. Let's just
Yeah,
say
I've read it in papers. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's been. How long has he been on that show for? He probably feels like he owns that
103
show.
years.
The geezer's 90.
Is he really?
I've got to tell you, he looks about
Yeah.
60.
Oh, he looks
It's
well.
nuts.
Yeah.
He looks really well for his age. Anyway, I was totally going to digress then. But
Yeah.
So when you're walking down the cobbled road and
Yeah,
you've got all the houses,
yeah.
let's destroy a little bit of magic here.
Yeah.
When you walk through those doors,
No, none of it exists.
what's
man.
on the other side?
It's just cardboard, like.
Is it
Yeah,
really?
yeah. So the actual street is
Not the Rovers though, surely not Rovers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a studio. You've never been. You can go.
No,
You
the
can go to
Rovers.
Coronation
The Rovers
Street.
is a studio
never been.
inside.
Wow,
the,
you can
inside
go.
the thing. Yeah.
Can't you can go to Coronation Street and have a walk.
Yeah, they
around.
do tours. Yeah,
But they do the fake. They used to do it on the real road because I went as a kid, but
The
now
real
they do it on
cobbles.
now they do a fake set, but they used to do it on the real cobbles.
So wait a minute, you
Good
go
set.
to visit the Coronation Street set, but you don't visit the set. You go
No,
on
I
the fake
think you
set.
do.
now
I
you do
think
the
It's a
fake.
good use
yeah,
of
no.
money.
No. But you see, they used to do the actual set where they film, but now logistically wise, they need to film all the time. So
No, but no, I
I
think
still
they do.
think they
though.
still visit.
I think
but
they
yeah,
do. Yeah, when they're not filming on it, there's
Great day
definitely
out.
people
great day out.
rambling about.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, when you was a kid, you had 4 days out really in England. There's not many things to do. That was one of them. Cadbury's World. That. You know what I mean?
Towers, come on.
Oh, Towers.
Let's not forget the big
Oh,
words.
Towers. And
yeah. Is it Granada Television Productions or
that's it,
something?
yeah,
The studio, isn't it? Yeah.
Part of me acting is because it's not me acting. I'm being someone else. And again, that sounds wanky. I know that sounds wanky.
Yeah,
but,
thank you for that. 'cause
Thank-
that
yeah,
is wanky.
but like,
That is acting, though, essentially.
I'm not.
You being someone else.
I'm not coming and being Joel Morris. It's not Joel Morris being
No.
Joel Morris. It's I'm coming and being Dave from the Copper or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
I get typecast as quite a lot of coppers. I'm about to be a copper again in something.
I was just
soon.
say, yeah.
Yeah, which is annoying.
I
but
suppose
what-
it goes on your CV, though, doesn't it? Like people look and see how
can
many
be a
ti-
copper. Quite
Yeah.
He's good at being a
Can't make
policeman.
babies
Yeah,
cry, can be a copper.
I wonder if there's anybody that's got on their CV really good at making babies cry.
Yeah.
I hope that's true.
Joel, is it true? Is it true
Yes,
that you had a part in the Star Wars series Andor?
I did. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm
I
geeking
didn't
out
know
right
that.
now. Like when I
I
saw
didn't
that, I
know
was
that.
like, what?
I didn't know that.
In fact, I should have said that was the coolest job I ever did.
That
because
is a
was-
cool
That's
job.
got to
I
be the
didn't even know
coolest
that.
job
That's
you've ever
cool.
done.
That was pretty fucking cool. To
Wow.
be fair. I mean, it was a small part. It was, but and funnily enough, going back to what I was saying about you have to draw a line in the sand about what you're willing to do and what you feel isn't doesn't serve your career that well. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
But and I'd actually had a conversation recently before I was offered that with my agent saying, look, I don't want to do any more couple of days, few scenes here and there kind of thing. And although they pay the bills and they do, it's nice money for what you're doing, but it's not. It don't get me anywhere. Just what and
get typecast as
it
that,
looks on
so-
my CV as like I was like private number 2, and people will look at that and be like, "Private number 2, what the fuck's he done that for?"
Yeah,
That's
when
not.
Star Wars, when's the opportunity on Star Wars?
Well, this is the thing. So my agent was like, "You've been offered this. And she was like, "It's Star Wars." And she was like, "Look, it's a really small part. We can get you off right money for it." She said, "But it's Star Wars." I was like, "Say less."
just to be
Say less.
just to go on the set. What was that like to go on the set?
Oh,
and
let me fucking tell
see
you.
production like
So
that?
I've been on some big stuff, right? So I did Wonder Woman and Fortitude and all that, and there's big dough on that.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Right,
We'll get back to that.
We're
Yeah.
definitely getting back to that
Oh,
one.
let me. Right, but when I went on set on Star Wars, the level of dough and the production value is like nuts, man.
Yeah.
And this is just a Star Wars show. It's not.
But they
The
are
film.
big though. They're massive now. The
It's
Star
Disney,
Wars,
bro.
You see what I mean?
Disney have got
so like
deep pockets.
that's how you see these things. Though.
Oh yeah, I'll take that. Do you know what I mean? What's it, Disney? Yeah.
Follow the money.
Yeah.
Did you go to America or was it in England?
No, it was in Scotland actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not West Scotland, a place called Oban, and so we descended on this town essentially on the west coast where maybe the population might have been 100,000, maybe pushing. Like 10,000 people turned up. Star Wars, like big vans, lorries, fucking gazebos, just setting up on just for like
Just to be there.
just the extras. Just the extras. So the bit that we were filming, and I'll show you some photos. which I shouldn't have taken, which I probably shouldn't say, but like
We'll put money out, don't we?
we were filming at this big dam, and they'd built and it's a real dam, but they'd made it so. They showed me the original, what the dam looked like originally, and it was just like what you think a dam would look like. I don't need to overly explain this. It's just a bit of concrete, basically, between two hills.
Yeah, we know how a dam works.
Come on, Joel, let's have some fucking momentum in this story.
Oh, is
sorry.
it a unique dam?
Listen, we all know what a dam is now.
Yeah. But
Educated
they
us.
put these massive turrets with big fucking Star Wars lasers, and there was
So they made the actual
big
original.
fucking starships. And as we were driving up, I was like, "You need to stop here and let me take a photo." And the driver was like, "No, bro,
You're not
He
allowed.
was like, if anyone sees you taking a photo, you not only are you sacked, they will sue you for fucking. They'll take your ass in fucking your ass, your mum and dad's ass.
You have to sign something.
Oh
when
yeah,
you do
big
it.
NDA for Star Wars. It was big, and it's really ironclad as well. Like if any, not so much that they're taking the photo is the issue, but if you were
What you do
stupid
with
enough
it.
to put that on your story on Instagram or
Yeah.
something like that, they'd laugh your bollocks.
There was that story where Mark Ruffalo spoke in the press, didn't he, about
yeah.
Endgame and gave a secret away.
Said
But they all
something
kind
about
of
they
been
all died or
joking.
something like that.
Yeah,
didn't they?
yeah. What do you got done over for that?
Yeah, but he
I mean,
maybe
he's
been doing
Hulk.
that on purpose.
Yeah, he's
the
Hulk. Yeah.
You
It's
can't
a bit
really
different.
sack the Hulk, can you?
Yeah.
You can't get him angry for a start.
yeah. You won't like him when he's angry.
No,
Don't do that.
no one's sacking Mark Ruffalo.
No, but
So,
they might have got fined,
working on
that's-
Star Wars, obviously the caliber of people that they like, the director, and
Yeah.
there's big American productions.
Yeah.
Did you know the main? Oh, it's bad. What's the main character's name? He's an incredible actor.
In
Andor.
Diego something or other.
Yeah. Did you meet? Did you meet
I
these
didn't
people?
know. I didn't.
Oh.
Only because it's so vast, the cast on something like that. I mean, the bit that we were doing, we were there for 10 days to film it. And on the show, it lasts about 20 seconds.
Is
Wow.
it similar to the extras?
They
with
built
Ricky
all this
Gervais?
shit for 20 fucking seconds. And there was like 1,000
really?
extras, all getting paid extra money, which is like 200 quid a day, for 10 days, just for 20 seconds.
That scene.
So that's the level of these production companies have got. It's
And then
honestly
just
quite mental.
descend on a Scottish town, take it over.
Take it over.
And then
Every
move on.
hotel room, every restaurant
Yeah.
was booked out every night.
Just
because
for
it was
10 seconds
just-
worth of...
Just for
of-
well,
So
I
the
mean,
producers-
possibly a bit
Yeah,
more than
no,
20
but-
seconds,
yeah.
but like not a lot.
The producers for these shows just get to go all out. Then they just get to go all
Well,
out.
this is the thing. This is what I realised that Disney are the kiddies, because like there was the head of the firm that was just driving people about, like bringing you from your hotel to set and shit like that. They all had really nice, top spec, brand new Range Rovers. I was like, how come you lot have all got these? And they were like, Disney have bought them for us. I was like, wow, that's cool. And he went, no, they've bought them for us. We now own them.
Oh, not just for that job.
80 Range Rovers, bro, brand new, top of the range, Vogue, fucking whatever it is.
Wow.
You know, they've bought you have them.
Who's in charge of the budget at
That's
Disney?
what I'm saying. And
Wow.
like he was like, so you know, I've had to bring 100 blokes up here to drive us, because some days they'll need a day off or whatever. And he was like, so I put in a proposal, you know, a bid
Yeah.
for however much money, and he was like, let's say my usual, you know,
Quota.
my
Yeah.
usual quota would be, you know, X.
Yeah.
I've gone double X.
So they put a tender in for the work, basically.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. So they say, we've got this job, come at us. So he's gone, I can get you the drivers tomorrow, and he did. He's the man.
Yeah.
He's known for being the man, this guy, and like, so he went, and it was just like, so I've doubled my usual quota, and he said they didn't even question it.
Then-
Wow.
They just went, yeah, sand, next, right. And it's like, he was like, fuck
I
it.
should have tripled it.
Yeah, well, like,
Yeah.
It makes you think, like, what could I get away
Well,
with?
yeah, what is the
So the
limit?
sheer scale of that production is just massive. Then
Yeah,
massive.
Like, actually, right, quite overwhelmingly big. Yeah. I mean, and the food on set was immaculate as well.
Really?
Yeah, because what
Which is a
was
big
that?
thing for me.
What was it?
Sometimes
What was
it'll
it?
be-
What type of food?
Anything you wanted.
Oh, really?
So they had a massive tent, like a huge gazebo that you could probably fit about 5,000 people in. And all down one wall was just like a food hall, basically, of like different bits. And you can get sushi or you can get fucking whatever you want.
Wow.
Like, yeah, any time of the day, yeah.
I want to be an actor.
you know,
Nice. that was, I mean, it's not always like that, believe me, but that was nice.
thinking about that level of production though, so sometimes you'll get these TV series that, you know, spend millions on all that, and then they come out, and then some critic pans it, and it gets slated, and it's like, oh, this is the worst film ever, or the worst series ever.
Yeah.
Do the producers even care about that, or are they more bothered about the money and
Money, yeah.
That's all they-
I can't speak for anybody, but
Yeah.
in my experience, well, I think it depends on the kind of production you're talking about. if you're a producer at let's say Disney or Marvel, or I think Marvel is Disney now, isn't it? But Warner Brothers or whatever, you know, it's really the bottom. I can only imagine, because I don't know, but it's really I can only imagine the bottom line. You know, how much are you spending versus how much are you projecting to get in. You know, and if you've got a Marvel product, then let's chuck $1 billion at it, because we're never getting $2 billion back.
Yeah,
you know, in global merchandising and everything. And you know, at the end of the day, sound, yeah, let's do it. Let's double our money. But
Or what about DC? Because you've just said you work for them, then have you?
So Wonder Woman. Tell us about Wonder Woman.
I want to know about which one. The first one.
no, the second one.
Second one.
Yeah, but again, tiny part, and that.
No, don't play it down, mate. It's Wonder Woman. I want to know. Everything.
Well, this is the thing. So I went down to Pinewood when I got the part.
Whereabouts?
Pinewood's northwest London, so
Okay.
like outside of London. Like I don't know where it is actually, but it's leafy around there and like big asses. And
Country,
shit.
yeah.
Pinewood's like a really famous studio.
It's the one, yeah. It's like James Bond studio.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
So,
didn't
like-
know he was even in London. I thought you were talking about America.
No, yeah. So So I was at Pinewood Studios, and I'd gone down there just to have my my costume fitting. And so you have to do this a couple of days before you start on set. They'll come around and they'll make sure you're not allergic to any particular product that they might use for
Yeah, like
makeup.
testers and stuff
There
on
you
you.
go. Yeah, do all that shit. And they'd taken me onto the makeup truck, and it just so happened that all the main cast were also having their testers done that day. So I'm sat on the bus, and Pedro Almodovar? No, what's his fucking name? The guy who's in as you
Wonder
can tell, I'm
Woman
really
2.
good with names. The guy who's in the
You
Last
know
of
your
Us
craft,
as well.
don't you?
Pedro Pascal.
There you go, Pedro Pascal. Thank you. So he was there, and a couple of other people, big names on it, and then Wonder Woman comes on.
What's her name? Gal
Gadot.
Gal Gadot or something.
Oh, did you see her?
She is the most beautiful woman
She's
I've
a
ever
spe-
seen
yeah,
in my
she's
life.
awesome,
Like
yeah.
I mean, she's fantastically talented as well, obviously, and
Yeah.
great at what she does. But
Just beautiful.
like literally, the woman, the makeup lady who was doing me, like she was like, just like,
There ain't enough makeup in the world. That's what
No, yeah. Bring the big tub on. Back the truck up. She said to me, she was like, just so you know, like really quite and lovely. She was
Yeah.
like, just so you know, Gal's about to come on. She's like, be cool.
Wow.
Like, and I was, and she was sad. She wasn't being like, you
Yeah.
being a cunt, be cool.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
But it was like,
You'll see it
just-
so many times.
she's yeah. And I was like, yeah, I was chatting to her about what I was doing and where we were going and her kids and this dog she'd got and whatever it was. And then Gal, my mate Gal, Gal, she's come on, and it was like, like
Yeah.
doves.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
fucking. I was like looking at
Jeez.
the makeup woman as if to say,
It didn't matter
this
what
is
you
as
said.
cool as it gets.
Yeah,
Because I've got
yeah.
notes.
Yeah.
There's no words coming out now.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Did she walk straight past you? Eye contact?
Hello. Yeah, hi.
Just a
hi. Yeah, just hi everybody. Like,
Oh, so
really
she's humble as well as
sound,
amazing.
yes.
Well as
Yeah.
good looking.
Most big stars, well, I'd say most big stars, like I've met a lot, but I've met a few, and they are generally quite, when they're working, just really like, yeah, man, are you okay? All right,
Yeah.
lovely. You know, and yeah.
Because probably been there, you know what I mean? They've been in that sort of
I
situation.
guess so, yeah. And also, they don't want to make people feel shit.
Yeah.
I think.
You don't want a
Yeah.
bad
And
reputation.
I
yeah.
suppose
Yeah, you
working
don't want a bad vibe
environment.
on set,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
exactly. Yeah, the vibe.
That's amazing. I love that story. I'm impressed. I was a little bit, when you were saying when she walked in, I was a bit nervous just then. You
Yeah.
saying it.
Yeah.
I'd be rubbish.
Yeah, well,
She is amazing, though.
Yeah,
She's a
well,
great actress.
that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying,
exactly.
yeah.
That's what I mean.
Let's concentrate on her acting.
Yeah.
Acting. She's actress.
Save that for your bedtime routine.
Yeah.
When you say costume, what was your part?
I
Said-
was so the film's come out, so I could talk about it. So it was a at one point in the film, Wonder Woman and the guy Chris Pine, I think his name is. They go to the Smithsonian Museum.
I thought he died in the first one.
He comes back alive in the second one. He's in the second one again.
Spoiler.
This is what I mean. It's not.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I don't.
I've watched it as well. Have you
Have you?
seen the second one?
What?
I've
Yeah.
seen the second one, yeah.
Yeah, it's universally.
I need a reminder.
Yeah, a lot of
Sorry.
people don't like that film, so I don't know.
Okay.
But they go to the Smithsonian Museum to steal this plane that's like can do something special.
Yeah.
And I'm the head of security there, so we have this
Ah.
big like car chase that, and that was good. I got to drive a car and fucking do loads of good shit,
Wow.
and that was good.
I'm going to rewatch that and look for that scene.
Yeah, no, that's the
It-
fact.
it's-
I've done it so many
Literally,
times.
it's a
with
bit
Richard
if you
Gere.
miss it thing.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So you've done a Hollywood car chase
Yeah.
Yeah.
with Wonder Woman.
Yep.
That's fucking what
Yeah.
a story.
That is a
massive.
good story,
That's
isn't it?
stat
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah. Good.
Did you get any sort of training to that car chase, or did they just bang you in the car? And
They
go
just
drive?
banged me in the car because it was literally just drive up forwards, and that's it.
And that's it.
Yeah, and then they even got someone to jump in the car to drive backwards. So which is
bit
but
degraded.
the job that I've just done, funnily enough, to sort of bring it full circle. So there's like a theme within the acting fraternity, which is like fake it till you make it. Like I said, so if someone says to you, "Can you sword fight?" You go, "Yeah, I'm fucking D'Artagnan, mate." But if like all you've done
Fencing champ
is pillow fights with your
1998.
brothers when you were 7 or something stupid. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. But so they said to me in the audition, they were like, "Can you ride a motorbike?" Yeah. God, fucking yeah.
Have you ever rode a motorbike at that
Never,
point?
no. Well,
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
well, this is the thing in my head, and I was like vaguely honest. I said to him, yeah, like I'm confident, is what I said. I said, I'm confident that you won't have any issues because when I was a kid, we used to ride, and I'm talking like 50cc round the back, down the sandpits round the back of Alfords in Netherfield, like down there.
I was there. Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, right.
A little pooch,
little
50.
bit. Yeah, you go. or like a 125 on holiday with your missus on the back or something like that. And so I said, yeah. Turns out I've got to drive a 1200cc like BMW fucking like proper.
Oh,
So I said to him, I was like, just for the sake of us doing, just for the sake of your insurance, why don't you put me through my CBT? in my head, thinking that'd be right. So that's 125.
Yeah.
Even that, I was like, couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I made him had to put me through that twice.
So so they don't ask for your license when you're
Nah, you don't need a license because it's a closed set. So it's
Right.
not.
Yeah, but that would surely help with them knowing if you could ride a bike. It's a quicker way than taking you through your
Well,
CBT.
it sounds to me all they do is just throw dough at everything.
Yeah.
Just put him through his test.
basically, yeah.
Wow.
Essentially, yeah. I don't know whether they
Did you get the part and did you ride the bike?
So I got the part. I got the part on. Hopefully on the proviso that my acting was good, as opposed to me just saying I was fucking good on the bike. They were like,
Well, they
"Put on
must
the
have
bike,
said-
yeah, son, you shit." But but yeah. So I got the part, and then they realised. So the first day that I was riding the bike, luckily I'd already done a week's worth of scenes. Some really good fucking scenes as well. We've done like gunfight. Just wait till you see it. It's good. And yeah, so we turned up on the day that it was like one of the bike scenes, and we're at this big port in Antwerp, like, one of those with like big containers, and it's like fucking something's going down and blah blah blah. And these bikes are there, and my assistant on the set comes up to me and she's like, "So, just everyone says that they're going to give you a chance on the bike before we start. Is that all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, thank fuck, yes."
Yeah.
I
Give
at
it a
least
practice.
Just let me just away from prying eyes. Let me just.
This sounds like a really stressful situation.
Yeah. So I get there, and they've not explained to me that it's on set. So everyone's there. All the directors, all the cameramen, all the grips, the lightmen, everybody, the sound guys are just standing around like, "Hey, Joel, there's the bike. Do it, man. hey, Joel, there's the bike. Do it." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, Sam, are you not going to watch me then, yeah?" "Oh,
With your
Sam, I'll just do this."
CBT Green Elves putting him on the front.
Do you know what I mean? All right, my little, like, the back wheel on the bike I was riding on the CBT was about that thick. This one was like, "Fucking that." And I've got on in my leathers, and I didn't know how to start it for a start, so I've just looking around. "Do these your bikes?" "Yeah, just come over here."
I have a different one.
Yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, I've bought the bikes. I don't know anything about the bikes. I just bought them." I was like, "Oh, fuck, mate. Just show me, like, without being too obvious, like, I had to go on with it. Where's the start button?" He was like, "Have you never ridden a bike like this?" I was like, "No, yeah, I have, but never this exact one." You know what I mean? I don't know what I can
My
fix.
back home's a bit different to this.
Yeah, no, my 1200, the one that I've got in my garage. Fucking hell. So
Wow.
anyway, I just backed it up with my feet and like rode it around, and I could see that one of the producers was just looking at me like this.
Oh my
With
lord.
a face like a slapped arse. She was just like, "You fucking crap at this, aren't you?" And like a couple of them were like walking around. "I'm gonna have to get fucking stuntman," and that was a bit touch and go. But the main guy, Sam Hewen, who's a fucking great actor, and he's like the number one on this show, and he luckily he was a bike man. actually he's got bikes and that,
Yeah.
and he's really confident on
Well,
bikes.
no,
But
he could ride a bike.
yeah,
He had license.
when
He's
I say a
not a
bike
bike
man,
man,
he'd
yeah.
seen a motorbike
yeah,
before.
he'd had a motorbike and not ride a bike.
Yeah. No lies.
Oh, the
basically.
bike man.
Oh wow.
Making myself sound really good here, aren't I? But he was a bit dodgy on it because like a bike that you've never ridden before.
Gotta get used to it.
Especially if you can't ride one.
Well, try and jump in a car you've never driven before.
I-
Yeah, car. You're going to be a bit.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you won't.
You do, you know, right.
Well,
You have to get your bearings. But wait. What happened?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
right. You can't ride a bike. Now you're upset.
Well, I was. But they said to me, "Would you mind doing all of your own stunts?" It wasn't like a would.
Did they say that after they see you on the bike? I think they were winding you up.
No, they were like. Initially, they were like, "You've got some good scenes, action scenes.
Yeah.
Would you feel all right with them?" I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, it's fucking sound. Let's do that," because I've done that kind of thing before. And then they were like, "Well, would you want to ride your bike yourself?" And in my head, I was like, "Well," I said, "It's not going to be actually on the road, is it?" They were like, "No, closed sets." I'm like, "Yeah, fucking yeah, of course." Because what?
Why?
Well, just because. And I've got another story about a stunt that went really wrong in a minute. But in my head, I'm just thinking, well, because they're there and everyone's there, and it's going to be like they're not going to allow it to not be safe for their own arses.
No,
You know what I mean?
you're allowing it not to be safe.
Their way of not making it safe, say, they come and warn people and go, "Can you ride a bike?"
Joel, I think you
That's
take
it,
some
safety
responsibility,
protocol.
mate. I think you got to take some responsibility, pal.
Essentially, I lied.
Fair play. I respect you though for going through
But
with it.
did you get through it? Like, what's
Luckily,
Yes,
all of the bits. Yeah, I am alive. This
Yeah.
is me real.
you didn't get fired?
No. Well, yeah, no, I didn't. I think on that day it was touch and go. I just got the impression that they were like, I wish we'd let him do the bike scene first. Yeah. I wish we'd not spent X amount of thousands of pounds filming the other 2 weeks.
Then
worth
you're
of
wobbling
scenes.
on a bike.
Literally, as I pull up, I'm like, stall.
Essentially,
now
it
doing my
worked,
scene.
worked better for you that they had invested in you early because now they're like, we can't just get rid now.
You said it so well,
Yeah.
so much better than I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically that.
I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So that
That's
was
a
the
good
thing.
move from you tactically, though.
I think in future, if any actors listening, do that.
Yeah, blag it.
Yeah,
So tell
blag
us
it.
more about stunt saying. You said there was a stunt that
Yeah, so I did a show, a Sky show called Lucky Man,
Yeah, I've seen
ironically,
that. Yeah.
and it's got James Nesbitt in it. He was the number one, and I played. Excuse me. Well, I got the part initially of a guy called Kevin Gray, who, for the sake of just giving you a really quick explanation. So this guy Kevin Gray, his wife's died. It looks like he's done it. And he's like a red herring where they're chasing him to try and get hold of him. Turns out he hasn't done it, blah, blah, blah. It's been out for a while. Don't matter. I can explain it.
Yeah.
So, again, we'd filmed about 2 weeks of stuff of me being chased by James Nesbitt. And there was like, again, another fucking...
Gun?
Yeah, thank you.
Look like a gun. Shotgun.
What's that? What's that?
Shotgun.
Give me a clue. Yeah, there was another machine gun like chase on speedboats and all that shit on the Thames that we were supposed to shoot. And anyway, so there was this one scene this one day. We'd filmed about 2 weeks worth now, and I'm on it for about 5 weeks. And there was this one scene this one day where it was my character's wife's funeral.
Yeah.
And they'd set it up, the characters had, the main characters, the police, had set it up like he's definitely going to turn up to his wife's funeral. So let's make sure that, we
You're there
bombard
waiting,
it with
yeah.
police and we'll get him there because he's a fucking prick. So anyway, so I'm there, character's there, and James Nesbitt comes in the back of the church and I have to jump over the pulpit and run out the back door. And then he's chasing me through the graveyard. And the director, and there was about 200 extras on set this day. And the director comes up to me and he's like, look, what we want you to do is do a bit of parkour. And I'm looking at him like,
What did you say when you could
just
do that?
pull a bit of parkour out the armory, yeah? And he was like, no, just like jump from
Building to
graveyard
building.
to graveyard.
gravestone to gravestone. And all
Wow.
that. I managed to pull that off, and I was
Yeah.
dead proud of myself. Yeah, I actually looked
With a real
sick.
gravestone.
Yeah. And then they showed me it, and I was like, actually, I look fucking mint there. I was like, I'm fucking putting that on my CV.
Nice, yeah.
Then there was this other bit where I get to the end of the graveyard and there's a fence that I have to jump over. And he was like, "We're doing that after lunch. Let's break for lunch. We're a bit behind, so we're gonna have to go for it straight away after lunch." Everyone's saying, "Yeah." Looked at the fence, yeah, not bad. And then after lunch, the director's come up to me and gone, so the stunt coordinator is going to take you over to the fence and just show you how to go on with this jump.
That's not well thought out, is it? Stunt after lunch. Surely
Yeah,
you
right.
went there, your lunch
Pasta
go
and
down.
bread and
Oh, yeah.
cheesecake
When
and
is the allotted time after lunch you should stunt?
Well, you shouldn't just probably eat right before a stunt, maybe. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Good
Do a
advice,
stunt
yeah.
on a full stomach is
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
wise thing to
Never
do.
do a
Saying.
stunt on a full stomach.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's and you're not as ostensibly light on your feet when you've
No.
got two
Okay,
helpings of cheesecake.
Cool.
Because I'm that guy. Let me tell you.
You've been round twice.
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
car. Okay.
More jam.
More jam.
and so after lunch, the director's come up to me and knows his shit. He was really sound, and he's come up to me. It wasn't his job to show me through the stunt. It was a stunt coordinator's job.
Yeah.
He literally went like this. The stunt coordinator, and he was with his assistant, who was a lady, a very not unattractive lady, who come up to me and said, walked up to the fence, and the fence,
Hold on, what? Not unattractive.
not unattractive.
Basically
Right,
fit.
okay, sorry.
A fit woman.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to be as
Said you've
diplomatic
had
as
too much
possible here.
jam for this.
But we've got to, let's say, the length of this studio away from the fence, and he's just stopped and gone, when you were about 15 and you used to play knock a door run and jump over fences? I went, yeah, vaguely. And he went, do that. And I was like, that's your job, is it?
That's his direction.
That's the extent of your stunt direction.
I'll be honest with you, though. I was there then. I could vision that.
You remember the days.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'm like in my head going, yeah, fuck it. I'm just going to go for it. What's the worst that can happen? Touch wood. Right. So on the day, which is like as we're doing it, they've got two cameras, one on a dolly, which is like a train track, so it's like going fast like that, following me.
Yeah.
And then there's another bloke behind me as like a POV of James Nesbitt.
Oh, wow. So they're
running
following you
behind
as
me.
you run.
Yeah. So on a steady cam. And then about 30 extras and about 50 crew. It's heavily like there's people watching because it's quite a nice little stunt situation. So anyway, we'll do the run again, come up to the fence. I go to jump over the fence. It turns out that the other side of the fence is another 10-foot drop.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna say,
where I am, there's the ground, and the other ground on the other side is like down here.
Wow.
So as I've gone over the fence,
But you didn't realise that until you did
because we
the
didn't
stunt.
watch,
Oh,
we didn't
no.
look.
So mid-jump,
So
your
you
brain
get it- so-
isn't ready for the
Can
depth
I
of the
just show
jump.
you something again then? Because you're going to blame whoever you're going to blame.
I'm not
You're
blaming
allowed
anybody. No one's to blame here.
You're allowed to look round the fence.
Listen, let me tell you, you learn some lessons the hard way. Look round the fence, twats. I think is the lesson I learned there.
Yeah.
And maybe not 10 feet, maybe just 3 or 4 feet. But
Yeah,
enough,
but if it's different, it
fucked with my confidence totally. Because in a situation like that, you've got to completely commit, haven't you?
Yeah.
And if in any situation, if you're doing something like diving off a high board when you're a kid, and if you don't jump properly, you're going to fucking hit the wall.
Well, when you do commit as a kid, like I say,
Exactly.
definitely. You
Yeah,
can't,
yeah.
It's hard to do that when you're an adult. But yeah, I mean, the other thing was ponds and dog shit. They were dangerous. Always watch
Yellow
out for
snow was always a big thing.
them. No, but I
when
mean,
was a kid, but you don't see much
if
of
you're
that.
hedge hopping and you,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, head chopping rules.
yeah.
Luke, you know a lot about head chopping.
I was the king of it at one point.
That was well known.
I
That
could
was
do-
well
Yeah,
known.
that's a good achievement because he's not really tall.
No, and that's why I tried
Small
harder.
hedges,
at
though,
it.
picket fences essentially.
Well, eventually, if you just run hard enough at a big hedge, you can go through the middle.
Nice.
Little tips for you there. Hedge hopping tips.
There you go.
Was that recreational or running away from
sport.
something?
That was my chosen field of sport. It didn't make it into the Olympics, so I had to quit.
So did you hurt yourself doing that then? Was there some injury?
Yeah. So I fell, and so as I'm going over the fence, I've bottled it. Totally lost my confidence
you
and,
went
and
for the-
didn't
didn't
commit
commit.
and sort of held on and fell funny and fell like with my leg flat like that. And so the foot flat on the ground, and a shockwave went up my leg
Oh no.
and basically shattered my fibia and tibia in about 10 different places.
Wow.
Straight away there and then. And it was like, conk. And I was like on the other side, like, oh, that's fucked. I'm fucked. That's broken. And the paramedic came round and went, nah, that's not broken. Swear on my mum's life. He came round and he went, nah, if it was broken, it'd be black straight away. It'd be black and blurred. That paramedic.
He's an actor.
Was an actor. He said he was a paramedic. Do you know what? I'm starting to think this is a Beatles about sketch now. I don't know.
Don't worry about that,
mate.
I can be a paramedic, 100%.
Yeah. You got a green coat? I'm fine. Got my own stethoscope, you.
That's not broke, pal. That's not broke.
When that happens, is the director and the crew like
Pissed off.
Where's the footage?
Are they liable?
Where's the footage?
Surely
as
they're
well?
liable.
So this is the thing. And
You sign a waiver saying
This
they're
says no fences.
disclaimer, look around fences.
Yeah.
but it's totally my own fault because I said, yeah.
Yeah, no.
They
it is.
said,
Yeah.
because they come up to me and said, we've got a stunt man,
Yeah.
but we'd like to see
Oh,
you do it
wow.
because we can film you coming over the.
Yeah, of course they'd like to see you doing
With
it.
like
Surely
an
they've got a
HD
duty
fucking-
of care, though. Like, they should have put a mat down.
That's the debatable
Over the
part.
fence.
And this is why I think they came to me when I was in hospital because I went to hospital
Shit.
and they had to recast and reshoot all my shit.
Wow.
So,
that-
did you not make the...
No.
Oh,
So it's gone down as a credit for me because I was that part,
Yeah.
but I was never in it because the bits that I did, they had to recast and reshoot.
Do you still get paid for it?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But there was it was touch and go for a minute.
Wow.
You know, they didn't want to, and I'm not going to tell you, who the production company was or anything like that. But they didn't want to.
Wow.
But they came up to me, the producers, in the hospital with like a care package, a hamper, with a portable DVD player in it and some sweets and toffees and that, and they were like, yeah.
They were
you're-
keeping you sweet.
They,
mate.
in my, it was like they had "Don't sue us" written
Oh,
all over
yeah.
there, and I,
On the
But
plus
you don't want to
side,
do
you
that
are-
because it gives you a reputation,
Of
doesn't
course,
it?
yeah.
also I
And
could have
also-
got about £500,000.
Well, now on your CV, you can put professional head chopper. If you got paid for it.
Professional stunt twatter, fucker upper, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Anyway,
You
Don't
should put that on your CV. I won't sue you.
yeah.
Employ me.
That might be actually really valuable.
Put it on.
Yeah.
He could have sued him for this much, but he loves the creative art so much he won't.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
He's
Tell us a little bit about what it's like then. What's the real side of being an actor? Like, what are the challenges that you face like over your career?
yeah. It's not working is hard, and there's I'm not working a lot more than I'm working, and so then there are challenges in that the voice in the back of your head goes, are you actually any good at this? Should you just have got a trade when you were fucking 17? Should you have, whatever it is in your head, thinking, fuck, should I have? I'm
Learn
too
to
late
ride a
now.
bike.
Should I? Yeah, should I have learned to ride? The fuck should I? Yeah. Thanks, Luke.
Probably.
Yeah, but constant self doubt and imposter syndrome, and am I making a career out of this? And luckily, for the last 4 or 5, 7, 8 years, for me, I've been doing pretty well.
Well, I think from hearing this, you've done amazing.
Yeah,
well. I
yeah.
think
Yeah,
with
some
it,
big names.
like you say, having the downtime and getting your mind right to go back into
It's
those
crucial,
roles.
yeah. Yeah, it is.
How do you cope with that then?
What the
For,
downtime?
for these inspiring actors? Well, when you say you go through those periods, and because I'm guessing the work's sporadic, so
Yeah.
sometimes you're not sure when it's coming in. What's your coping mechanism for when there isn't something there, or you've been waiting particularly long for a part? How do you get yourself out of
I
that?
cry and wank and take loads of cocaine.
In between
Yeah,
all
just
shows.
sniff myself into oblivion now.
So there you go, guys. If you're struggling with
If in between your acting jobs,
No,
you're
no,
worried
no.
about
I
some
think, yeah.
self-doubt.
There just has to be just life, man. Just cracking on.
yeah,
The more-
accepting it that that's how the industry is, and
Well,
you know,
the same with anything that gets you down.
so.
When a bill comes in, anybody doesn't want to see a bill or doesn't
Yeah.
want, there's
Well,
loads of shit that we all get
they're
cracked up on, I
they're
guess.
the hard parts. They're the sort of journey you got to take that people are probably too lazy to have. You got to get. I think in probably your career, you got to have a lot. You got to be able to get a lot of rejection and move forward with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think
Yeah.
a lot of people are afraid of rejection and then don't push on to do what they really want to do. And I think you must have had to push past that
Yeah.
to get to where you got to.
Yeah, for sure, man. I've had a lot of doors slammed in my face, metaphorically, and
I bet that's a big thing that happens to a lot of people, though.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
just have to get used to it. Just
Well-
harden up to it.
Can you get used to rejection now?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty
yeah.
much used to it now.
Yeah.
But it's more like in myself, and I can. Excuse me. I can only be mad at myself.
Yeah.
It's, 'cause
Yeah,
it's
so
me.
you're
'cause
your own
that's the thing.
critic. You're your own critic.
I'm my own product.
Yeah, yeah.
In whatever you're doing in life, if you're whatever you're doing, you've got something you're selling. Well, I'm selling myself, and,
Yeah.
and that's what's strange about this game, because I'll go into an audition and
Yeah.
literally it's just me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
you've
it's
got no
like
team,
either
you've got-
like me now, or you don't.
Maybe that's part of the key, though. Like you saying, accepting accountability for. I've chose this. This is the nature of the work.
Exactly. Yeah.
I know that's obviously one of your coping strategies, then, isn't it?
And outside when I'm not acting,
Yeah.
making sure that I'm doing my best to be employable when the moment comes up.
Yeah.
Keeping myself half fit and keeping my mind right and not partying too much.
Yeah,
or
so
not
if you get
this or
that call, you
whatever,
got to be ready, haven't you? If Disney ring, you got to go.
Well,
you miss it otherwise.
I might come out of here tonight, and tomorrow morning, my agent might ring me and say, "You've got to put yourself on tape. There's 10 pages you've got to learn. We need it for tomorrow." And
that
then
must be that's more stressful than people
That's
think.
massively stressful.
Yeah.
And the pressure on yourself because you're your product.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
must be really difficult to.
Well, that's the thing. You've just got to come to terms with it, I guess. That is what it is.
Acceptance.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
But
Should be
what
more
about
of
that? That even the stories you said tonight sound stressful with the fucking motorbike.
Yeah.
Like I've got a newfound respect for actors.
Yeah, that seemed like an anxiety-induced mess.
Actors that
I
say that they
don't
can't
like
ride
thinking
bikes
about
with the cows.
Yeah.
What?
Twats, I believe they're called.
Yeah, there's not. a
So
massive-
what do you do? What's your coping mechanism for those challenges? Because you talked about being out of work. Like, so what do you do when you're not working to keep yourself
Well,
right?
he did just mention it
Yeah.
when you was out the room.
We did that. We did
You
that
know
5
what?
minutes
You know
ago,
what?
Joe.
I was going to seriously let you walk out that room.
In my head,
No.
I was like, "Right, did I not nail that?"
I actually said coping strategies as well.
Yeah. You'll have to watch it back to know what he
I
said.
left the room. I left the room for a minute. Tried to style that one.
Unprofessional.
Yeah, just try not to get down, essentially, is what I just said. Yeah. Just
Looking
try
after
not to-
yourself.
Yeah.
Good. My flow's completely gone.
Oh, the question man is down.
Yeah, man.
So I've got a question. So you know how you started in what was that? The place where you started, the Nottingham School of.
It's now called the Nottingham Television Workshop.
And can you enter that at any age? So even when you're
No.
in school.
So it goes from, if it's still the same format as it always was,
Yeah.
it's you have an under 11s group, which I believe you can get into, but when you're about 7 to 11, which is it's like an audition to get in, but essentially it's not. You just loads of kids turn up, you have a bit of a play,
Yeah.
like not play, but like
Yeah.
silly little dramas
Dobby off
like you
ground.
do it. Yeah.
Would you recommend that path?
Injection, no infection, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Would you recommend that path to go towards if you wanted to be an actor? then? Is that where you
100%.
start?
If you're from this area,
Yeah.
Nottingham, Leicester, Derby, even as far as Birmingham, it's worth coming to here to do that because
That's pretty prestigious, isn't it, in the Midlands? Then?
it's
That's-
no.
saying there's a lot of talent,
Having
isn't there?
come from the workshop
Yeah.
when I was younger, at the start of when I first got the agent that I'm with now, who bless them, I'm with an agent called Curtis Brown and Jess and Fran. They're the bollocks. And they sort of opened doors for me and got me introduced to people that there was no way I was ever getting introduced to them without that kind of agent. And that's the issue.
What age did you have an agent?
I got my first agent up in Manchester when I was like 20 odd, maybe.
What?
It's like
So
20
when you was
20
a kid doing them?
it
parts
was all
then?
through workshop.
Ah,
So all the parts
they manage it for you
they'd
as well.
come to the workshop. So casting directors are coming to the workshop, knowing you've got 50 kids there.
Right.
They're
yeah.
like, "Oh, we need a kid. We want 2 lads and 2 girls. Well,
Yeah.
bring 20 lads and 20 girls,
audition.
and let's all just give them a few lines, and then we'll let them do some little dramas between themselves and see how that goes, and then you can see them in the back just
Making notes.
being massive pedos. No. No. You can see them in the back. No. Sorry.
That was an opportunity. No, you went for it.
No. Yeah. I couldn't stop
It's a
myself.
joke. It's a joke.
It's a
We
joke.
can joke
they're not
on here.
pedos.
Yeah.
But my point is,
Was it BBC in the 80s?
yeah.
Yeah, because if it was, you may have a point.
It's Jesus, mate.
Yeah, well,
There's all sorts going off over there now. Isn't there?
Yeah. But these weren't pedos.
No.
These were respectable people.
Good to clarify.
Good to clarify.
you do have to
Pedos.
clarify that.
Never met a pedo in my life. But these casting directors would come down and they'd be making notes and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that lad was good, and the way
Yeah.
he said that was good. Let's try and put him with that lad." That kind
Yeah,
of shit.
yeah.
And then
That's
and then
great
that's how
step
it-
up then to,
Yeah,
to that
absolutely, yeah.
industry.
And great practice. as well.
Invaluable resource, the workshop, and long may it rain. And they've had some issues getting funding, and so they should, get funding.
Yeah,
basically,
definitely.
and carry on.
Yeah, because otherwise people aren't going to come through.
Absolutely.
The good thing about acting as well is that some people can act all their lives, and then when they're older, they then just hit the big time, don't they? Like
Yeah.
people like Morgan Freeman.
Do you know what? He's the perfect example. He's the one
Yeah.
I always use.
He must have been selected in his younger days, but not as big. Is that?
He was an actor, like he was at my level for till he was like 60.
Yeah.
Like getting decent parts, doing decent stuff. But if ever I say to someone I'm an actor, they're like, "Have I ever seen you in anything?" And it's like, well, if you've got to ask. No, innit? You tell me, mate. Have you ever?
Everybody has seen the Christmas Tesco advert. I don't care. Everyone's seen that advert.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that's some of your best work.
Got me a lot of exposure.
I really enjoyed it.
I was famous for about 2 minutes with that one.
Yeah.
It was good.
Was you in the? I don't know if I want to say this.
Oh,
advert. Was you in Giacomo?
yeah, I was. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's
If you wasn't in Giacomo, you'd be like,
with Freddie.
What are you trying to say, Joe?
With Big Freddie as well, weren't you?
I know, I'm tall.
Yeah.
Did you
what's
meet
Freddie like?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, like that.
Yeah.
What was that?
Freddie
Flintoff.
Flintoff is Freddie Flintoff. He's
Why? When have you met Freddie? Where did that come from?
I was in the Giacomo adverts with him.
Oh, of course, because he does the Giacomo advert.
Giacomo.
He's sound. He's good. He's good.
He just looks like one of the lads.
He is essentially,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. He's larger than life. He's got good chat. Yeah, he's
Have
sound.
you got his number?
No.
Did you not ask for it on set?
No, I'll tell you a
Come on,
story.
we're mates now. Gives your number.
Nah.
That'd be weird.
No, yeah. I'd say that, won't we?
It weirded me out.
Yeah.
You pretended
I
to do
just
it.
thought that's how you build your contacts up.
I've
innit?
seen it
Hello, give me a number.
Really?
I've seen it happen. Yeah.
you go,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen it. Like some like extra will come up. No, they're called supporting artists. But a supporting artist will come up and to a large. I've just done a job. I'm going to drop a big name here, but I've just done a job with Ewan McGregor.
Wow.
And it was
Whoa.
filmed it up in Leeds. Bang. And filmed it up in Leeds. It's called The Gentleman in Moscow. It's coming out next year. It's going to be really nice. I'm only in it for, again, a few. I was filming it for about a couple of days. And basically, I play this thug, Russian guy called Ivan, who's a bit of a prick. It's
You got
basically.
an accent.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
I was going to do one there.
No, but have you got one in the park?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
No. I started doing it. And the director, Sam, came up to me and was like, no.
What are you doing?
Just. No. You know that accent you're doing? Yeah. No. Just like that. I was like, that's sad. And when I was doing an accent, he went, oh, yeah. We don't want one from you, though. Kate, say less. Move on.
Skin, haven't you?
Yeah.
Thick skin.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
got to have thick skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think.
But he was, Ewan McGregor was a genuine darling. Like they say, don't meet your heroes. And everyone on set was like, there was a lot of younger lads on set who were playing like smaller parts and bits and bobs, and like we were sat having lunch one day and they were all like, I can't believe we're on set with Obi-Wan Kenobi. I was like, we're on set with fucking Renton, mate.
Yeah.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
Train Spotting
Yeah.
is his, like, come on.
Yeah,
man.
that
Like,
was the
heyday,
day.
yeah.
Was
that's
that
his
was
guy.
great
But yeah,
film.
he was genuinely lovely. But there was this young lad came up to him while we were sort of going through this fight choreography. We had a fight in it, and he sort of just came up to him and was like, can I ask you about blah blah blah? And I was like, oh mate,
cringe.
you're not doing. You haven't you? You fucking have.
How did he deal
He
with
was
it?
just like, yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, what? And I had a great genuine chat with him when it like.
So really, that's
It's just two humans having a
course
human
it is, yeah.
interaction.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's Ewan McGregor and some lad who's not Ewan McGregor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which
He's got some bottle there, hasn't he? Then
do you know what? Yeah, is it bottle or is it you're a
That's
bit of a
stupidity.
twat?
Yeah.
Well, there's a thin line,
there's a
isn't
fine
there? There's a
line,
fine line.
Because he instantly made me go, oh.
Yeah.
Social boundaries, and some people just don't sense those boundaries.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
don't know what scene he's doing next,
Yeah.
and he might be in his head going over his lines. And sometimes it's like,
Have respect for what is. Yeah, he's
just
working.
with anything. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, yeah, I think you've just got to let people do what they're doing.
That lad's in a massive movie now, by the way. With Ewan McGregor, co-starring.
Do you know what?
But you said yes
That's
to a
me.
bike. You didn't tweet Ewan McGregor, but you said yes to a bike.
That lad can ride an horse. Fuck.
If you could be in anything, Joel, what would you be in? Any part, like, any program?
That's a great question. I would be in a Tarantino film, 100%. I think he's
Good
about
shout.
he's about to do his 10th film, and
He
and I
keeps
don't-
calling them these last one, doesn't he? His 8th one was the last
What do you
one.
think?
His
Do you
9th
believe
was the
that?
last one.
No,
No, because he just keeps
you
saying
do
it.
it on purpose.
He said it about the Hateful Eight, and then he said it about
Well,
Once
no,
Upon a Time in
he's
Hollywood.
always said throughout
didn't-
his career said he's going to do 10.
Oh, did he really?
That's,
Oh, really?
that's been his thing. I'm going to do 10
Once Upon a
films.
Time
and
in
on the 10th
Hollywood, I
one,
didn't-
done.
No,
I don't know how you top Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. How do you top that?
I didn't.
Like, for me, that's his best film.
Really?
Oh, do you think? No, he said I don't. I mean,
Yeah, but
historically, it was an interesting story, an interesting behind-the-scenes story, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And there's also arguments how accurate it was.
well, it's not. It's totally inaccurate.
Yeah,
But
this is what I mean.
yeah.
So I've been a bit PC there, but I don't think you could ever beat Pulp
Brad
Fiction.
Pitt plays a great role in that.
Pulp
as he always
Fiction,
does.
you can't beat Pulp Fiction.
You know what? If it's up to preference, I say that Reservoir Dogs is his best.
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir
is-
Dogs.
for
Reservoir
me,
Dogs. I remember when that came out.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid
It
and
was
having it on
shocking.
tape and
Watching,
Yeah,
again
watching
and again.
the scene with the
It's
razor
torch-
blade.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it was a shock film, wasn't it?
Wow.
And that gave
Well,
him
it
his
was
name.
the first of yeah.
But you can't.
was
I
his-
mean, most of his films are genius.
Yeah, it's
Inglourious
genius.
Bastards. It's just
Yeah.
a genius
Yeah, that's a
film.
genius.
The whole
Yeah,
concept
yeah.
is genius.
Yeah.
Django, like
And you stick Brad in it and you're sorted, aren't you?
Yeah.
What an actor he is.
I
Good
think-
looking guy.
Yeah, I think he's the guy, isn't he? You've
oh,
got to say
what
he's the
better
guy.
than Leo?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Meet Joe Black was one of the times where I seen Brad Pitt just when he swaps his roles within the film. Unbelievable.
There, but the bit where he does the Jamaican accent.
Yeah, that was yeah. He ruined himself. That brave.
You're going for patois, are you, Brad? Maybe
was-
not, mate.
That was a brave stance.
Not sure how that's going to hold up in 10 years, pal.
But not very well. By the looks of the film.
That's what happens when you're bigger than director,
Yeah,
and they
exactly,
don't tell
yeah.
you to stop.
Do you know what? I'm going to go for patois on this one.
I think I wanted it. Someone said I was okay.
Patois, you say? Yeah. Yeah, all right, Brad.
Anything, Brad. Anything.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Do you want some sushi? But yeah. He's fucking. I think of in terms of our generation of actors. I think for me, Robert De Niro's the guy. But I think of our generation, Brad Pitt. You've got to say he's got to be up there, number one or there or thereabouts.
Yeah, he's a great
He's the
actor.
guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the man. He's the man.
Yeah.
For actors to reach that level, though, do
Yeah.
you have to like change who you're around, who your agents are, where you live,
Yeah.
or is it just pot luck? Or
I don't know. Well, you're asking. I don't know. You know, if I knew, I'd fucking do it.
Yeah, that's fair. enough.
right now.
Yeah.
Just let me know. Illuminati, come at me. I don't know. I don't know. I think like.
I've heard stories where people actually pack up and just move to California, to
Yeah.
Hollywood, to try and make it, and then they end up on the
Well, there's
streets.
thousands and
Millions,
LA.
millions.
And they fail, and do you know what I mean?
LA
They end up-
is littered with broken dreams. That sounds really sad, but it is. There's so
True, yeah.
for every Brad Pitt, there's 10,000
Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt.
John Blodonsky. Is you know what I mean? Yeah, John
Yeah.
Blodonsky.
That's
Exactly.
good, isn't it?
It's like what you fucking. What did you say?
Brad Pitt.
We all went for one there. We all went for
Shit.
one, didn't we?
Brad Pitt.
That shit's nice.
That was the best
you're
one.
right, yeah.
Keep saying it, Luke. Someone will laugh.
Yeah.
They are right now.
Someone's behind a keyboard with an hard on. Brad shit, yes.
Driving his car.
Nailed it.
Perfecto. That's for you, whoever liked it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think there's got to be an element of like having a good, just I don't know if you've ever. Do you know what a really good? It turned out shit, but I remember when it first came out. Entourage was
Yeah, I
one of the
love
best
Entourage.
things.
I've never watched
Serious.
it.
Have you not? You should
Ah,
watch it.
Great.
Really?
Amazing.
I thought that the trailers looked a bit cheesy.
No,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
all
it got dead
cheesy,
cheesy. It got dead
but
cheesy.
It's still quality. But it's based on it's loosely based on his life.
On
Mark
Mark
Wahlberg's
Wahlberg's life, yeah.
He took
Oh,
his
really?
friends into
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Oh, I did not know that.
And he brought Elmore with him.
Yeah.
And and it is because he's in the last. Yeah, I love it. I love
It's
it.
it's actually and as a study of how it could go, it's about as close as you're going to get. Like Mark Wahlberg is an exceptional case because he's a street kid who just happened to be good looking and fucking have a six pack off his head and fucking like just be really charismatic, and it just opened a lot of doors and then he went from being like a fucking half shit rapper, which I'm
wasn't
sure
he?
he'd fucking say
Yeah.
himself
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
was, to then becoming an actor and look
New
at him
Kids
now.
on the
Now
Block.
it's
That's
just
what.
a
Yeah,
bloke.
Marky
His
Mark.
brother was in that.
Oh, was he
He
not?
was just
Yeah.
Marky Mark,
It
wasn't
was
he? Just
Mark,
a rapper,
Mark
yeah.
and the summer. or
Funky
other.
Bunch.
Funky
Come
Bunch.
on.
Funky
Come on,
Bunch.
were you not alive in
Who
the
was
Yeah,
his brother?
only
Is it Donny Wahlberg?
Donny
Yeah.
Wahlberg?
Is he the one in
Yeah.
Kids on the Block?
on the Block, yeah.
He's an actor now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's good as well.
Yeah.
Even
He's in
Saw.
Band of Brothers. Do you remember Band of Brothers?
I'd never watched Band
Yeah,
of
Band of
Brothers.
Brothers is great.
I know.
You've never watched Band of Brothers?
I know. Should I watch it?
Yeah.
Is it
One
gonna,
it's one of the best TV
It's
series
amazing.
ever.
will it have held up though?
Yes.
You can watch it now.
again.
You can watch it now, and you will love it.
Do you
I
reckon
need
it's
to
age-
watch
it's
that. I
time-
haven't watched it.
You've
Have you
never
noticed
seen
like
Ba-
with Sopranos though?
And it's
Have
even
you two
better
watched
because the
Band of
actors
Brothers? Have you watched Band of
Well, do
Brothers?
you know what's good about the Band of Brothers
God.
is the level of actors
Never
that
heard of
came out of that, and then you watch them at the beginning.
On my radar. mate.
Tom Hardy was in it.
Tom
as a-
Hardy
as
was
a- like a
unbelievable
bit of
in
an
it.
extra,
That was
wasn't
that
it?
was
Yeah,
his
he was,
extra.
yeah.
That was how he did it. He went into Band of Brothers,
Yeah.
and then he took.
Well, Britain got lucky at that point because they came here, didn't they, to film it all? And I think a lot
Yeah.
of British actors got.
They did
Yeah.
through the
that way.
extra scenes.
I think
didn't
that was the beginning of it being like Hollywood going, do you know what? These
There's a
British
lot of
actors
British.
are
Yeah.
fucking good, man.
Yeah.
Because I think what happened was they just got a load of fresh out of drama school
Yeah.
actors that turned up on set in small parts and were willing to do small parts, but
Yeah.
were really professional, really
Yeah.
fucking on it.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, I think the difference between
They were
from-
hungry
from
as well.
here-
Hungry.
Yeah, the level of professionalism.
What's the Scars guy's name? Who was in Snatch? He was a massive actor now.
Stephen Graham.
He was in it as well for a very small part.
Was he?
In the very
Yeah, he was
first
that,
episode.
but he's gone to do amazing things.
Yeah.
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 It's fucking sound.
But listen,
Al
you
Capone.
two, you've both got to watch Band of Brothers. It's one of
Yeah,
the best
no,
TV shows
that's
ever,
on my
and it's
radar.
timeless. It would definitely hold
This
up.
is what I was going to say because like Sopranos,
Yes.
that doesn't hold up. I don't think.
I think the first 3 or 4 series don't hold up. I think the latter part you can
Right.
still watch.
I don't know.
I
I
ain't
could
seen
still
that
watch
either.
that continually.
What? No.
Are you
Come
what?
on.
I don't watch a lot of.
Oh,
series.
you just
I ain't seen.
What's your thing?
Sopranos.
What do you watch?
Bedtime
What's
routine.
your like go to? You're spending most of your time wanking, obviously.
Yeah.
like you were saying earlier, yeah. You really want to go to sleep, don't you?
You don't need to tell you when you're doing that.
We
No,
did-
but
we did it.
I watch films. I watch films repeatedly, documentaries. But yeah, there's so like Game of Thrones. I ain't even seen that. But there's loads to do. So I feel like when it gets too far, it's too much of a commitment.
Yeah. I know
To
what you
then
mean.
get into it when everyone's finished
When
it.
it's 8 series of 12 episodes.
Yeah,
a
it's a
series,
lot.
like,
It's a lot of commitment. That it's a lot of time.
Yeah, it is.
There's loads of stuff I haven't watched. Look at Joe.
I can't
Joe's
believe it.
looking at me like I'm an alien.
I can't believe the things you haven't seen.
Yeah.
You've never seen Game of Thrones?
No, not one episode.
Seen
Not,
good,
you've
seen
got- you've
good,
never walked in and been like,
seen
let me give it a
Goodfellas?
go.
Right.
Top-
Goodfellas, the
listen.
film. Yeah, seen Goodfellas.
Top
yeah.
3 series ever, and they've all just been mentioned.
Game of
Sopranos,
Thrones.
Game of Thrones,
Really?
and Band of Brothers.
I think
Wow.
you've got to go Breaking
Breaking
Bad as
Bad,
well. You've
yeah.
got to
Yeah,
go
Breaking Bad's got.
I
good.
don't.
seen that?
It was good, but I don't get the hype over Breaking Bad. What are you pointing at me for? I don't get the hype.
Breaking Bad, right?
It got
Breaking
a bit-
Bad is the tits, man.
Yeah, I just think it got a bit boring halfway through, and then got a little bit good again.
But they all do that, though.
Yeah.
They do, yeah.
Yours would be amazing all the way through. You got to give and take a little bit. 24, that was crap. I hated 24.
No, see, the first couple of series were really good, but then it was just like the
it
same thing over
annoyed
and
me.
over again.
Yeah, 'cause it was like, oh, how long is this going to take? 24 hours again. Yeah. Well, when's it going to end? In 24 hours.
Bit predictable.
How did he not ever just nick it at 23?
Oh,
I know, yeah.
Like, are you a bit shit at your job, actually, mate? Because if anything, the last time was 24. Mate,
and also, as well,
from your
you
bad
know when he's
mistakes.
leaving his missus, what time are you home tonight? I think it's 4 o'clock tonight. Get the tea on. You're never going to guess what. There's
Every
a
day.
nuclear bomb again. I'll be home late.
That was Kiefer Sunderland, was it?
Kiefer Sutherland, yeah.
Sutherland.
Or his
Sunderland.
counterpart, Keith Sunderland.
That's the English version.
He's an extra in Geordie Shore.
That's his stuntman.
That's his stuff, man.
About he rides his bikes.
Not very good at jumping over fences.
Listen, you look random. I think
That's
we've
it.
all learnt
We
that.
know that now.
Yeah, we know that now. The benefit of knowledge.
Joel, that was so funny. Those stories were amazing. Those stories were amazing.
Impressive, yeah.
I know,
I'm
mate.
impressed.
I know. If people want to know more about you, Joel, are you on social media? Can people?
I am, yeah. Joel_control on Instagram. And that's about it. I'm just on Instagram.
Just
not
on Instagram.
Facebook or nothing like that. Yeah. But
Oh.
yeah.
What's the control bit mean?
It's my middle. It's not my middle name at all. That's ridiculous. My middle name's just control. No, it's my nickname. So when I was younger,
Yeah.
and still am, dog shit at football.
Right.
So like, if the ball comes to me,
Sarcasm.
it's
yeah.
like
Control.
it's coming and it was going over there. No matter where. And
No
my mates would be
control.
Like, oh, bit of Joel control there, and it just stuck.
Joel
And it,
control.
yeah, it just stuck. Now
That's
my email
amazing.
address is Joel control. Everything's
so
control.
glad I
Something.
asked.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah, that's it basically.
Fair play.
Thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
My
Yeah, wicked,
absolute
mate.
pleasure. Thank you.
Best of luck with your writing your TV shows as well.
Yeah,
Sounds
and
exciting,
everybody
mate.
watch
Keep,
Couple Next Door in October as well.
Couple
Yeah,
Next Door,
definitely.
and
Yeah,
that is
Channel
on
4.
what? Channel
Channel
4.
4,
Do you know when it's airing?
In October.
No,
So
but like, when
I'm
it,
not.
what, is it like a what time? Is
Oh,
it
it'd be
like,
night time. It'd be like prime time.
Like
yeah,
prime
9
time.
o'clock, 10 o'clock, something like that. Yeah.
9, 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Wicked.
forward to it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
How to be an actor.
Thank you
you,
very
guys.
much.
Nice
Yeah.
one, Joe.
But,
Loved it.
I've got something exciting, and you can help us with this. To be honest, Joel, if you want, we got a letter the other day.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
a letter. Yeah, an actual letter.
so this is the first time someone's written in.
It's the first time
And I have no
anyone's
idea
written
what's on
in
it.
for 10 years
Yeah.
to anywhere. Anyway,
Yeah, all right. So this wasn't an email. This is the actual handwritten
I've
letter.
got it here.
Oh my
So
lord.
it ended up at Educating Idiots HQ, which I often check the mail just in case someone sends a letter. And
Sensible.
yeah, so I'll read it, and then we can see if we can help.
Yeah.
So what do you mean help? Why? What's the?
So you see, it's
Bit like
pretty
an
so.
agony
It's a
aunt.
letter. It's self-explanatory.
No, what
I'll
I'm
re-
saying
I'll read
is
it
you're
out,
saying
and
help,
then
so-
you get it. That's it. Let me read it out.
Someone
and then
asks you
you'll
for
get it.
help, is what I'm saying.
Yes. So what it turns out is a lady called Judith. has wrote into us. And like I say, it's a letter. It's self-explanatory. I'll read it. Okay. It starts with, "Hi, boys. My name is Judith. I'm a 40-year-old woman married to a Jeff who is 46. We've been married for 18 years. We've recently been experiencing some issues within our relationship. I've been watching your podcast and really enjoy it. Thanks, Judith. How you guys discuss mental health and other topics, and I was wondering if you could offer any advice on how best to resolve a situation that recently occurred between Jeff and I." So she's asking us to help within her problem, as it says.
Oh.
I'll read on. I had, so this is a problem that she's wrote that we're all going to answer, and you can join in if you want, Joel, because
Absolutely.
you...
I think Joel definitely needs to join it.
I think so. So basically, she just said, I had booked onto a midweek Pilates class with some of my friends. I'd messaged Jeff just before I booked to check it was okay with him, and he had replied, "Yes, that's fine." When the class had finished, I was invited for a quick G&T and a catch-up in the local. I again messaged Jeff to let him know that I would be late and if this was okay. Again, Jeff replied, "Yeah, that's fine." So imagine my surprise when I returned home, admittedly a little later than I'd planned as Carol had got carried away with the Jaegers, to a very angry and upset Jeff. He berated me on my own doorstep, asking where I had been. Wow, Judith. I tried to calm Jeff down, reminding him of my earlier text to him. In my haste to defend myself and fueled by Carol's Jaegers, I also confidently expressed that I am a fully grown woman and it was only 11 p.m. on a Wednesday night. Admittedly, I did also add fuel to the fire by suggesting that Jeff is not my father. This had the adverse effect. Oh, Judith, you're in some trouble there.
Yeah.
After further discussion and 3 hours of tears from Jeff, he admitted that his replies to my messages of "yes, that's fine" actually meant he was not fine, but was still rather upset with me from an earlier in-the-week incident where I'd failed to notice his new haircut from the new Turkish barbers on the high street. Although I had apologised about this at the time, it seems Jeff had not really accepted my apology, as I've been led to believe. Bloody hell, Jeff.
Jeff, man.
I must add, in my defence, that his hair looked very similar to his usual style. However, I did take on board his feelings. Jeff has not spoken to me for 3 days now, and every time I try to apologise, he says that I don't mean it. And this is not the first time I've made him feel like this. I look forward to your opinions on this. Love the podcast. Yours sincerely, Judith.
Jeff sounds like an idiot.
Oh, what a minefield.
He's setting himself up for a fall there, isn't he?
Jeff sounds controlling.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, we've got to be careful what to tell Judith, because Judith is, obviously, we don't want her to leave Jeff, and she loves Jeff, I think, by the letter.
Yeah, I think we need to be, Jeff needs a little bit of help and support.
Yeah, okay.
That's what she's written in for, isn't it? We need to give Jeff
Yeah.
some advice.
Sounds like it could be a sensitive situation as well.
Yeah.
You know.
But I mean, look, devil's advocate. What is has Judith done anything wrong here?
Yeah.
She stayed out till 11 o'clock.
She did
Out with her
text,
friends.
and he did say it's fine. I think that's probably hard.
So really, he's playing mind games, isn't he?
Bit narcissistic.
Yeah, playing mind games for saying that it's okay and then making her feel bad.
It's not being direct. I think the lack of direct communication there has to be looked at.
Honesty.
As a problem that they might want to talk about.
And maybe
Yeah.
Judith shouldn't have so many Jaegers after Pilates, but you're allowed to let your hair down.
Of course, it's her choice, isn't it? She's
kind of
an
earned
individual.
it from doing Pilates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be a way
Yeah.
to treat herself.
It might be her only night that she gets away from.
Jeff.
Everyone's allowed a best
Oh,
friend.
Jeff sounds.
Jeff, only chance to get away. Sorry, Jeff.
We all want to get away from Jeff for a little bit.
Like, we were supposed to be helping Jeff.
Sorry,
She's
we
asking
love you,
to
Jeff.
help
We love
Jeff.
you. Sorry.
Yeah.
But there is an argument here that Jeff's been like he's playing with her emotions. That's like emotional abuse because it's like
Yeah.
what you said. It's communication.
Yeah.
She said, "Look, I want to go out with my friends," and she's actually checked in with him, almost like asking for permission. She's also a bit controlling, and then he's given the permission and then used it against her.
And then
I think Jeff needs to. I think Joel's hit the nail on the head.
communicate better.
I think communicate better about how you're really feeling, and maybe.
Tell Judith to come home if that's
Judith.
what he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, when you get a haircut, be a bit more self-confident about it because it seems as though he was a little bit insecure about.
Why does he need Judith to tell him that his
He
hair's
doesn't
good?
need validation for his new haircut. That's what I'm saying.
Well, he clearly wants to impress Judith. So what his expectation was that Judith would come in and go,
That's
"Oh
correct.
my God, you're haircut is really
I
nice. You
think
look
from
amazing.
what Judith said, she made it quite clear though that his hair was very similar to what he usually had, though, right? So
That's true as well.
if you spoke-
That's true. Yeah. This is a tricky situation.
This is a
I mean,
very
where do you go from there?
yeah.
You know, are we supposed to advise that they live as a couple in some kind of fantasy land where they both pretend that his hair looks different to what it usually looks?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Who are we? to
And
give that kind
then
of advice?
also, yeah, and also,
Do we know how long Jeff and Judith have been together? Did they tell us?
it's 18 years.
Oh, so decent amount.
It's a lot of haircuts, that. It's a lot of
long
haircuts that have
That
always
is
looked the same.
It's a long
That
time.
is a lot of haircuts.
You would
yeah.
think by then, Jeff and Judith would have got some kind of system where they understand when each other are angry or upset about things.
18 years in, you have to assume it's.
Okay, so I think in summary then, for Judith, are we
Jeff.
talking
No.
to no? If we're talking to Judith, get Jeff to tune in to some of the, because we have some episodes here where we do talk about
Correct.
mental health
Yeah.
and emotional well-being,
And communication.
Educate Jeff.
Yeah, and Jeff, we'd love to talk to Jeff.
Mm.
And you know, we really appreciate
And
writing in.
thanks for the letter. It was
But
nice
what
to
I
read.
think, if it's okay with you, Judith, write into us again and keep us updated
Yeah.
with the situation.
Let us
But
know how
try
it goes,
this to
Judith.
start with. I think what we're all saying is,
Yeah,
the
advice.
first thing for Judith is talk to Jeff about communication.
Yeah.
Should she let Jeff know that she's writing into?
Jeff, to be
Big
that's a
good
good
point.
point, because I think Jeff
We
would be
don't-
very unhappy, wouldn't
Yeah,
he?
that that might toy with his emotions even more. I think probably just
He's
keep
sensitive, isn't he?
don't lie to him, but just keep it on the
Yeah,
down
keep it
low.
between us for now,
Yeah.
Judith. And
Yes.
we'll monitor the situation.
We'll help
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
through
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
a
try the communication thing, and then write back into us to let us know how that
Yeah.
went.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Judith is over there, by the way.
Sorry.
Judith is there.
In camera, straight in camera.
Judith, please continue to talk.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. And
Yeah.
thanks for writing. How exciting our first letter.
Yeah,
From,
it was
from,
exciting for me
from-
to open.
Keep checking the
Keep-
mail at
Headquarters.
headquarters.
I do every day.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Amazing.
Cheers, lads.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank
Good
you.
night.